So there are many hidden causes of depression, and today I'm going to bring you 10 of them. And maybe you're suffering from depression, maybe your depression could be linked to one of these causes, and if it is, you're at a much better chance of solving your depression and getting over it. The problem is many doctors prescribe antidepressants for depression, but if the cause is from one of these, then you must first eliminate the cause and maybe eliminate the depression as well. I'm Tom O'Brien and I'm the mental health herbalist, bringing you another video today on 10 hidden causes of depression. Now, I do videos on depression, anxiety and in general mental health, bringing you the best information on foods and herbs as medicine. So number one is fluorine. Fluorine is added to the water. It's a chemical that's added to the water in many countries to reduce the risk of tooth decay. Countries like Ireland, America, Australia still add fluorine to the water, where there's high percentages of people drinking fluorine water. Now, people who drink fluorine water are at a higher risk of developing depression. A UK study that the risk was 30% higher where people drink fluorine water. There are many things you can do to reduce your risk of tooth decay instead of drinking this type of water. You can, for example, drink distilled water. You can distill water at home yourself. You can reduce your intake of sugary drinks, sugar, processed foods that all contribute to tooth decay. You can start using a natural toothpaste, and I have a video on my channel on that, or you can do oil pulling, and in general look after your health in a natural way. Number two are pesticides. Pesticides are chemicals used in farming and food production to increase productivity and profit. Farmers exposed to pesticides are at 30% higher risk of developing depression. There's also a study in France that showed farmers are at a 50% risk of developing depression if they're exposed to pesticides. Now, that's only direct exposure because they're living on the land. We're also exposed through the food chain, and this is a risk that you may be exposed to. And if you're depressed, you need to check what kind of food are you eating. Are you exposed to pesticides? Maybe you should think about moving towards organic food. Pesticides also increase the risk of developing issues like cancer, diabetes, autism, Parkinson's disease, and can lead to fertility problems. And number three is the hormone contraceptive, or contraceptives that are hormone based. A study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association has shown a link between the use of hormone-based contraceptives and depression. So if you're on hormone-based contraceptives and you're experiencing depression, maybe there's a link there and it's worth considering. Number four is thyroid disease. Now, there's a wealth of research and it's well accepted in the medical community now that there is a link between low thyroid function, which is hypothyroidism, and the development of depression. Studies have shown that people with low levels of thyroid hormones are at a higher risk of developing depression. So if you're experiencing depression and you have thyroid problems, maybe that's the cause of your depression. So what's the best thing to do is to go and get tested, go to a doctor, go to a herbalist and have a consultation. There are lots of herbs that I can use to help people normalize and balance their hormones and their thyroid function again, as well as looking at diet and stress and other factors. Number five is heart disease. It's a kind of a no-brainer that there's a link between heart disease and depression. Now, there's a wealth of research in hospitals that have looked at people who have heart attacks and they've experienced depression afterwards. It's a vicious cycle. Heart disease, broken heart, loss and grief can lead to heart disease and lead to heart problems, and vice versa. Heart problems can lead to depression. It makes sense because the heart is the center of our emotional well-being, the center of our love and loss emotions. So that's where we're going to feel a lot of life's losses, and it's going to affect our heart and lead to problems there. There are lots of herbs I use like hawthorn, cayenne pepper to help improve and strengthen the heart and also balance the emotions. And number six is smoking. Now, smoking is also linked to depression because people who smoke are also trying to suppress lung energy, which is about loss and letting go and experiences in life. So there's a suppression going on when people are smoking. Now, the problem with smoking is it can lead to anxiety, for anxious behavior, looking for that cigarette to regulate the emotions, and the withdrawal symptoms of smoking can lead to depressive symptoms and low mood. So if you're a smoker and you experience depression, smoking is going to be a contributing factor at least to increasing your experience of low mood. And if you are trying to give up cigarettes, you're going to also experience low mood, but the end result will be better vitality, better health and better well-being. Get support. There's lots of support out there for people that want to give up smoking. Number 7 is inflammation. Now, inflammation is recognized now as a cause of depression, that it's an inflammation in the brain. And studies with people who are depressed have shown that they have a 30% higher rate of brain inflammation. So there's a strong link there between brain inflammation and depression. So the brain is responding to inflammation, to the high levels of stress associated with depression and associated symptoms. And so one of the best anti-inflammatory foods you can take for inflammation is turmeric. Take turmeric milk. It's called golden milk. I have a YouTube video on that on my channel. It helps to reduce the inflammation and helps to reduce depression. Number 8 is low levels of vitamin D. And in Ireland we suffer from this because we don't have a huge amount of sun, and when we do, we go a bit crazy. But sun is recognized as one of the best sources of vitamin D, and we need vitamin D to absorb lots of other vitamins, including vitamin C and calcium, etc. So low levels of vitamin D can be associated, are recognized as associated with depression. So you need to get exposure to the sun, even in the winter. Just close your eyes, look up at the sun, absorb those rays into this area that I find the most effective, and get your daily allowance of light and sun. So if you're depressed and you're not getting exposure to sun or vitamin D, then maybe you need to take a supplement. A supplement can help restore your levels of vitamin D and can reduce your symptoms of depression. Number 9 is sugar. Now, sugar is probably the most addictive substance in the world. It's sweet, it helps us deal with negative emotions and low mood, but high levels of sugar intake then becomes a kind of dependency cycle where we get these spikes of energy and then we get the lows. And that's why sugar can be associated with depression. If you're depressed and you have high levels of sugar intake, maybe there's a link there. By reducing your sugar intake, you could also reduce your symptoms of depression. Move towards natural snacks and smoothies and some fruits, but don't go too crazy on the fruit sugars either. But you know, move away from those really sweet processed sweet drinks and sweet bars, sweet chocolates, sweet whatever. And number 10 is, very sadly, suicide, bereavement. And I suppose bereavement in general can lead to depression for the people who are survivors of bereavement, but there's a particular experience for people who are bereaved of suicide. It leads to intense feelings of guilt and shame, remorse and anger and depression. So people who are bereaved in general, but particularly by suicide, are at a higher risk of developing depression. Now, no antidepressant is going to really improve your situation because the cause is a loss of a loved one. And bereavement and grief is a natural process of letting go and recovery. You can't stop grief, because if you stop it, you just contain it, build it up for the future. So if you're experienced loss from suicide, and the only thing you can do is to get support from other loved ones or from some sort of therapist where you can talk about your feelings and get that weight off your chest. I wish you well in that journey of healing. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate your support. As always, give this video a like if you like it, or don't. Give a comment below. What's your experience of depression? Have you experienced any of these things? What's your views on the fluoridation of water or the use of pesticides? And let's get into a discussion. Look forward to seeing you in the comments and in the video very soon. Take care. Bye bye.